welcome back to Cindy's Library, and today I'm finally going to talk about what I read for the month of February. So we're going to start with the top here, and I am going to go through all of this. So first, William and Dorothy Wordsworth, All in Each Other by Lucy Newlin. I haven't read anything but the first chapter or two since November. I'm not going to DNF it because I do want to read this, but clearly now is not the right time. So when I'm ready to get serious about Dorothy and William Wordsworth, I'll bring this back out and give it another go. But I did finish The Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. Yay! Third time through. I had such a great time with this, as I always do. And I will link to my full video about that. Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I actually got through the first little bit, 4 chapters. So basically, so far we have met Lucy Snow during her childhood, specifically during a childhood visit to a family friend, and then like 10 years later, family has fallen on hard circumstances. She finds herself companion to an old lady. Old lady likes her and is going to do something for her in her will, but the old lady dies. So now Lucy has to figure out what to do next. So shortly I think we'll be getting the main action of the book, where apparently she moves to a place called Villette on the continent and becomes a governess. So we shall see. Anne of Green Gables, I have not read any more of this, even though I want to, and I'm a fourth of the way through. I blame Betsy Tazy, really. So my plan is to finish the Betsy Tazy series, and then we will do Anne of Green Gables. So if I don't talk about Anne of Green Gables, that will be why. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Didn't do anything with this. Might try and finish this one at least up this month if I get through all of my middle grade March. We'll have to see. It would be appropriate for this month as far as that goes. Towers in the Mist. I finished it again. Yay! I quite enjoyed it. Lovely. What can I say? Elizabeth Scrooge writing is always absolutely gorgeous and lyrical with the best descriptions, but it was fun that this was set in Oxford during the Elizabethan period. And so that was probably the best part of this book. Full review will be linked down below. Now, Beyond the Snow by Christine Rawlings, which is the life and faith of Elizabeth Scrooge. I'm actually probably about almost halfway through. I actually got through a nice chunk last month. Don't know how much more I'll be able to get through this month, but I did make some not insignificant progress here, so I am pleased. We've gotten through her years living in Oxford. John Henry Newman, Apologia for Vita Sua. Didn't make any progress here. Don't know if I'll make any progress this month. Oh, Wives and Daughters. This is on hold until I have at least finished Villette. So, be standing by. The Art of Biblical Narrative by Robert Alter. don't think I got anything done in this month, but my goal for this month is to work on it at least a little bit. So we shall see. Oh, Les Mis. I actually got through all of, let's see, I think it is section 3. Here, let's see. That's by Victor Hugo, Part 3, Marius. Yes, I got through all of that in February. I should have made a start on the section after that, but that is okay. We are getting through this slowly but surely, and I am past the halfway point, so. Thrawn Ascendancy. I actually didn't get to this one. Timothy's on Chaos Rising, and the next book in the series comes out next month. So, I'll have to put this again high priority for this month when I'm not reading middle grade. So, that will be the plan. As for what else I read, I had my 5 items that I drew for February. So let's go through those real quick. The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt by Edmond Morris, the first of his Roosevelt trilogy. And since I drew this, that means I have to work on all of the trilogy. And I got a decent start, I would say, maybe a 5th through. Got him through Harvard, got him married, starting his political career, much to the chagrin of his family, since he's doing it the hard way, which he is loving, of course. So far, quite enjoying it. Whatever else you can say about Teddy Roosevelt, he certainly had an interesting life. So, that was a success. Jaber Crow by Wendell Berry. I'm probably about a 5th of the way through that one too. A bit slow of a start, but enjoying it so far. I definitely want to finish reading that one, so that is good. 101 Dalmatians by Dottie Smith. Now that was completely adorable. And it's a bit different than the Disney movie you're probably familiar with. For one thing, one Dalmatian would have a hard time feeding 15 puppies, and so they actually take in a Dalmatian who's had her puppies taken away from her and gotten lost, and she helps with that, and that is actually Pergita. Pongo is the main guy, but his partner is Mrs. And, well, let's just say that there is another guide dog, Prince, that we eventually find for Pergita. And yes, the puppies get stolen by Cruella de Vil. Yes, Pongo and Mrs. have lots of adventures finding them through the Twilight Bark and getting them back. Not quite so adventurous, perhaps, as the movie, but still quite enough peril to be getting on with. And what they do to Cruella is quite appropriate, I think, considering. And there's an extremely sweet part where, for various reasons, they have to make a stop elsewhere than planned, and I think they end up staying in a church for a while because there's a nativity there, it being the Christmas season, and even though they're dogs, they sense something special, and it's just so sweet. So those are some of the main differences. I highly recommend this for any middle grader, especially ones who love dogs, because they will fall in love with the 101 Dalmatians all over again, even if they have seen the Disney movie. So that was a success. Oh, Zen in the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury. So that was an interesting read, giving some of his life stories connected to writing, some of his methods, and I could sense myself starting to connect with some of what he is saying, which is basically connecting with childhood and with feelings. Video is so hard to find time to write, but still very, very good. If I want to get really serious about writing fiction again, I may have to reread this for some inspiration. And then The Storied Life of A.J. Kilroy by Gabrielle Zevin. And this one, I'm afraid, did not work for me, and I had to DNF after 2 chapters. It was primarily due to the language, which made me uncomfortable. Now, you may be fine with it. I sense this is a kind of redemption story centered around, that takes place around this bookshop in this cute remote location. But yeah, I'm afraid I just can't get past the language. But if you love bookshops and language isn't something that really bothers you, you might want to give it a try. But definitely not for me, I'm afraid. Let's see, what else did I do? I read Heavens to Betsy and Betsy in Spite of Herself by Maud Hart Lovelace. So I made some progress there. Betsy is in high school now, and so things are a bit different. I mean, she always hung out with Tacy and Tibbs, but now she has more friends and is a part of the crowd and is busy always doing all these social things and learning all of these life lessons. Like if you get invited to an essay contest, you might not want to put off studying until the last minute. Yes, and boys are complicated. True story. Let's see, and I also listened to Illusionarium by Heather Dixon. And I wish I could remember all the details now, but it is a fun steampunky world. Our hero lives up in the north with his father, who is a renowned doctor he plans on following in his father's footsteps. All seems well, though there have been a couple possibly disturbing messages from the capital in the south. But one day the king suddenly shows up with his wife, the queen, who has contracted a plague which targets females for some reason. They are dead basically within a week. And so, of course, he comes to our hero's father for help, he being an eminent physician. And our hero acts as his father's assistant. But unfortunately, soon his mother and sister have caught the disease, and so becomes more and more desperate to try and find a solution, including some possibly questionable methods, which in the end leave him in an alternate reality from his own that aside from the whole plague thing, they actually did figure out the plague decades before, and this alternate reality is for the most part not a very happy place. And so he has to navigate finding the cure, securing the cure. He has to basically compete, creating illusions that while you are in them, you are breathing a certain substance, are real. And it gets complicated really quick. But that's where Illusionarium is from. It's this competition between illusionists, see who can make the best illusions. And so I quite enjoyed it. Definitely learned some life lessons along the way, which is always a good thing. And his desire to help his mother and sister is admirable, even if in the end we must question some of his methodology. And let's see. Oh, I also listened to The 7 Kinds of People You Find in a Bookshop by Sean Bythell. Little cute bookshop up in Scotland, apparently. Quite amusing descriptions of the different type of people that tend to visit there. So I quite enjoyed it, and it was a nice break from Les Mis. I did need a break from listening to Les Mis. And the other high priority item was Hollowpox, the Hunt for Morrigan Crow. I forget the author's name, but I have a full review of that one. Oh, we got a few questions answered, more questions arise. Poor Morrigan. It's going to be hard to find out who she can trust beyond her cohort and beyond her mentor / guardian. So things are going to be getting complicated, as I think I shared in my video. So that is what I did accomplish. I was hoping to accomplish more, but my sister's family visited for nearly 2 weeks, and so that threw some of my plans off. But that's okay. We had a wonderful time together, totally worth it. So, and looking at this, I did not get done, as always, as much as I wanted to or thought I might be able to. I did actually get through a fair number of things. But the reason why for March I decided not to plan more than I already have is precisely that reason. I want to actually try, aside from middle grade March, finish some of these things. So we shall see how we do. So wish us all luck on our reading for March. I hope you enjoyed February. If you read any of these books I've read for February, I'd love to hear what you thought about them. Feel free to leave any comments or suggestions. Thank you for joining me here at Cindy's Library. Till next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy, and as always, happy reading!